Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to another Respawnables video. This is part 10 in my all weapons in multiplayer series, and with this part we have finally crossed into the double digits. Also with part 9 now being completed, we have crossed the halfway mark as far as how many weapons we have left to play with, which is very exciting. In today's part we're going to start off playing with the Falling Star, and we're going to take off where the last part ended, which we have a little bit of a match left here in Sandtown. As I told you in the last part, this recording is actually being split up into two separate parts, part 9 and part 10. And that is why you might see some of the same enemies from the previous parts in this one as well. Now, the guy who just killed me, he's actually using an armor, the ASP armor, and that armor nerfs energy weapons by 70%. And since the bow I'm using right here, the Falling Star, is an energy weapon, you could see that I dealt almost no damage to that guy compared to some of the other enemies in this match. So we're nearing the end here of the Sandtown match, and for the remainder of the video I actually am only going to be playing in one map, and you'll see what that one is right here. It's the Rocket. Now the Falling Star was actually introduced during the 2017 Christmas update, or the holiday update, whatever you want to call it. And the Steam Thumper, the weapon I'm playing with right here, was also introduced in that update. So we're nearing the end of the 2017 weapons right here. Now the Steam Thumper, just like the Rager, has an active skill which allows you to move, shoot, and reload faster. And each individual shot from the Steam Thumper only deals half the damage of a Thumper shot. So you need to land both shots to deal the same damage as the Thumper. Also, after this weapon, I would normally play with the Merida MK1 rifle, but that's the second weapon in the game that I do not own, so unfortunately I'm not able to show that weapon off to you. But it is a movie licensed weapon, it is also a bullet-based assault weapon, and I would say that it's okay from what I've seen. Now the weapon that we're playing with right here is the Healing Crossbow, which is the top event weapon from the 2017 Winter Games event. And I don't know if that references the Olympic Games, because, you know, in 2021 they came out with an actual Olympics-themed update. It was called Respawnables. I did a video about it. But the Healing Crossbow is also the fourth healing weapon introduced into the game, after the Heavy Medic Mark I, the Dual Vamp Handguns, and the Healer. And it is also an interesting weapon because just like a lot of the 2017 bows, it was a little bit different at release. In fact, it only had 2 rounds at release. But just like the Shark Bow, as well as a lot of other 2017 bows, it was changed in the second archery tournament update in 2018, and it got its ammo increased to 6 rounds. We also got done here playing with the Heavy Maskaleon. Not able to give you a lot of commentary on that weapon, but is very similar to the Maskaleon rifle, where you can use the carnival masks to kind of change the weapon's performance. And now we're playing with the dual poison handgun, very similar to the poison dart handgun that we played with a while ago. Not a whole lot to say there, it's a very overpowered weapon. And now we're playing with the burning handgun. This is the first fire weapon in the game that has the burning effect. So before this, there were fire weapons like Fire Spitter, Incinerator, Firecracker, but they didn't have any burning effects. The burning handgun is the first weapon, fire-based, that has a burning effect. And it's a pretty balanced weapon, I should say. So now we're playing with the Barker shotgun, introduced during the 2018 Chinese New Year update, the Year of the Dog. By the way, the burning handgun and the weapons that I played with before were from the 2018 Carnival update. Now the Barker shotgun, you can see it's kind of modeled after a canine dog type of thing. But this shotgun is really not that good. It's a pretty bad weapon in my opinion. It does have an active skill, which is kind of interesting. You know that there are different types of gadgets, like grenades or mines, that you can drop. And there are also support gadgets like immunity shields or spotters. And with this weapon's active skill, you basically throw out a type of grenade, and when it explodes, it disables any positive effect of those support gadgets. And by the way, just like the stun grenades, you do have to be a little bit careful where you throw it, because it can also affect yourself. And there's actually another weapon coming up that has the same active skill as the Barker shotgun, and I'll show it off a little more when we get to that weapon. But right now we're playing with the Harpoon Launcher, which is a pretty interesting weapon. I don't really know how to feel about this one. I never got it until after the game's lifetime had ended, so this is probably one of the first times of me actually using the gun. And I don't know what to think about it. It's strong, but it is also not super overpowered. I like the weapon though. And here we get to the top event weapon from the 2018 Chinese New Year event, the Barker Machine Gun. It is an energy-based assault weapon, and just like the Barker shotgun, it is modeled after a canine or a dog, and it has the same active skill as well. So we ended the first rocket match. As you can see, we had a little bit of a glitch here in the second one, so we just skipped to the end of the match. I also show off the active skill right here, but we're going to use it against an enemy as well in just a second. But yeah, I do like this weapon. Is it overpowered? I think it is a little bit overpowered, but not, not as much as Rainbow's End or Battle Ram or Incursion Ram or any of those weapons. It's not as overpowered as those weapons, I would say. So we're going to actually struggle quite a bit here against some of the enemies because they're using very overpowered weapons like Paw Paw. We got a kill right there. We're going to try to get another kill, but this guy's just using immunity shields, which makes it impossible to kill him. We're going to try and use our active skill against him while he's using his immunity shield to disable it. And then here we have the same enemy from the beginning of the video, and he's still using the ASP armor, and since this is an energy weapon, you can see that I'm not dealing a whole lot of damage against him. So right here, I'm going to use the active skill against this guy, and as you can see, completely disabled his immunity shield. But he still ended up killing me because, if you're using the active skill, you can't shoot at the same time, which is a little bit of a disadvantage because your enemies can still shoot at you. So yeah, I never really thought that the active skill was that useful, but yeah. So now we're on to the next weapon. This is the Class C rifle introduced during the 2018 Easter update. And it also has an active skill similar to the active skill from the WPD pistol, which we played with in a previous video. This weapon is kind of interesting. It's one of the weaker snipers in the game, meaning that it's going to take a little bit more shots to kill. As you can see, it took almost 3 shots to kill that guy with the ASP armor. I was almost able to kill him there, but I needed a 3rd shot to finish him off. And then this guy only took 1 shot for me to kill him, so I think that is because of the masteries that he's using. It probably messes with his health. But yeah, the Class C rifle, this is another weapon that I've only recently got the ability to play with when this was recorded. Of course, I recorded this video, just like all the other parts in this series, at the end of Respawnables' lifetime when multiplayer was still active. I keep having to remind people of that in my comment section, which is kind of annoying. As you can see, I also used the active skill right there. Didn't really do a whole lot against this guy. So now we move on to the next weapon. This is the Dark Doctor Handgun, which is a pretty cool weapon. This is another healing weapon, so just like the dual vamp handguns, just like the healer, just like the healing crossbow, you can heal people and damage enemies at the same time. You don't have to swap between different ammo types like you do with the Heavy Medic Mark 1. This weapon does have its own active skill though, which is like the Toxic Shotgun grenade, but instead of dealing poison damage, it can also heal you and your teammates, which is pretty cool. I find it to be a little bit hard to use because it's not like the medikits where you immediately get your health restored. This one, you still have to wait for the countdown of the grenade to explode, of course, and that means that you're not going to be healed right away. So right now we're using the Rocky Shotgun, which is the top event weapon from the 2018 Easter event. And it also has an active skill. As you can see, it's kind of like this rock shield, which is different than the immunity shields because the immunity shields that this guy is using allows you to still move around and shoot at the same time. With this one, there's kind of a delay. It's not very good. It does reduce your damage by a lot, but it doesn't even make you immune to damage like the immunity shield does. And as you can see, the last weapon in this part is the Rainbow's Prank. This guy's been using it for like the entire video. And this weapon is the exact same as the Rainbow's End. It just has a different skin. And it came out in the 2018 April Fool's Day update. So that's it for part 10. In part 11, we're going to start playing with the crafty handguns. I'll see you in that one. Bye.